guys, it's Hannah, and today I'm coming to you with a video all about some books that feature mythology. So this video is being made in paid promotion with Disney Book Group to celebrate the release of Aru Shah and the End of Time by Roshni Chokshi. This book was just released on March 27th, so it is out now and you can go and get yourself a copy if you're interested in reading it. It's the first book in Rick Riordan's new imprint, Rick Riordan Presents, and basically what they're doing is publishing different middle grade novels that are inspired by different types of mythology, which I think is the coolest thing ever because one, I love mythology, and two, I need more good middle grade in my life, so I'm so excited about this. But this story in particular is inspired by Hindu mythology, and it follows the story of this girl named Aru Shah. Her mom works in this museum of ancient Indian art and culture, and Aru kind of has this tendency to make up things about her life and about things in the museum, and one day she makes up this lie about this lamp in the museum and says that it's cursed, and her friends dare her to prove it to them, and she promises that once she does this, she's never going to tell another lie again, but then she lights this lamp and then things kind of go on from there. It sounds like a fantastic story. It's something that I'm really excited to read. Like I said, I love mythology and I've been really wanting some more middle grade, so I cannot wait to pick this one up. It's also been described as Percy Jackson meets Sailor Moon, and that just sounds so perfect. Like, I don't know what that combination would look like at all, but I can't wait to find out. Also, make sure to stick around until the end of this video because I'm also going to be doing a giveaway that is inspired by Aru Shah and the End of Time, which is super exciting, so make sure you watch until the end of the video if you want to enter the giveaway. But yeah, because Aru Shah and the End of Time is inspired by Hindu mythology, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this whole video is going to be about books that I love that are inspired by different types of mythology, as well as a couple of books that are inspired by mythology that I really want to get to that I haven't read yet, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. First off, of course, I have to mention an all-time fave, which is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, the whole Percy Jackson series. I read these when I was in middle school and they were my favorite. They were so good. It was like right around the time that I'd read Harry Potter for the first time as well, and I was just so into this series. I'd always been really into Greek mythology. I liked just reading mythology books that just told you about the different gods and goddesses and stuff and the different stories. It was like one of my favorite things to read when I was like around this age. So then when I found this series and started reading the entire series, I fell in love. I feel like I get a lot of questions from people asking me about if I like the Percy Jackson series because I don't talk about it that often, but it's in my favorite series of all time video. Like, I have talked about it a few times, but apparently not enough. But yeah, for all of you who didn't know, I adore this series. It's one of my favorites. It's such a staple, it's such a classic, and I really do want to give it a reread because it's been quite some time. This is actually the only series I've ever read by Rick Riordan, so I definitely need to fix that, and as we get on into this video, there will be another series that I mentioned, but I definitely want to read more of his books because I just love the way that he writes about mythology, and I definitely need to give this one a reread, like I said. The next book that I have here is actually another book by Roshni Chokshi. I promise they are not the only people on this list. I just really like the way they write about mythology. But that is the Star-Touched Queen duology. So of course we have the Star-Touched Queen and then the second book, A Crown of Wishes. I actually like A Crown of Wishes more than I like the Star-Touched Queen. I also have a review for this book if you guys are interested in going and watching it, so I'll leave it linked on the screen. So this duology is also inspired by Hindu mythology, but it's YA, it's not middle grade, so it's a bit different. But I really enjoyed this duology. The writing is exquisite. Roshni Chokshi's writing is so beautiful, so I'm really excited to see how that plays out in Aru Shah as well. But she just does so well with the world building and describing the magic system and everything, and it's just really fun to read. As someone who really likes mythology and learning about different cultures and worlds and the magic systems within different mythologies and how they all kind of interconnect when you think about it, it's just really fun for me to read these books. I also really love the characters in this series. I think that they're so well fleshed out and so well written, and yeah, it's just a great series that I feel like does not get that much attention on BookTube, and I feel like it deserves a bit more hype. The next book that I have here is one that I actually read very recently, and it has become an all-time favorite now, and that is Children of Blood and Bone by Thome Iyami. This is a fantasy novel that is inspired by West African culture and mythology, and let me tell you, it is fantastic. I'm actually going to be doing like a full spoiler-filled review for this book, which will be up fairly soon after you've seen this video, but I cannot even explain how much I love this book. I think in part I had never read anything that had incorporated West African mythology or lore or anything like that, so it was really refreshing for me to get to read a completely different type of mythology that I'd never been exposed to before. I've talked about this book a lot on Twitter, but to me it feels a lot like Avatar: The Last Airbender, and if you know me, you know that Avatar is my favorite thing in the entire world, so if anything comes even close to that, it's gonna be my new favorite thing. setting, and this is so similar and it's just so fabulous. The magic and the mythology play a very significant part in this story. It makes up the foundation of the whole world, and it's kind of just like discovering an entirely new world, which is just an amazing, amazing reading experience, and I can't recommend this book enough. So yeah, I've gushed about this book a ton already, and I know I'm gonna gush about it a lot more, so I'm not gonna spend too much more time talking about it here. All I can say is please read it. It's so good, and if you like mythology, if you like fantasy, if you just like action-packed plots or dynamic characters, you'll love this book. Everyone will love this book. So those are all the books that I have read personally that I really love that are inspired by different types of mythology. But I also have 2 more books on this list that are inspired by mythology that I haven't read yet, but I've been really wanting to read them for a while now, so I thought it would be worth mentioning them here. The first one is, of course, none other than The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. The Heroes of Olympus series is a series that I've been meaning to read for so long, and so many people tell me to read it all the time because a lot of people really love this series. A lot of people apparently love it more than the original Percy Jackson series. And I don't know how I feel about that. I hope that I'll love it more because I really want to love another series by him, and I'm really hoping that it ends up being good. I've heard fantastic things about it. I've heard it has really great representation, and again, I've missed reading about Greek mythology, so I think that picking this one up fairly soon will be a good thing for me. All I really know about it is that we have Percy and Annabeth like still within this series, so I'm really excited about that. But apart from that, we follow like entirely different characters, but all of our old favorite gods and goddesses are all in here as well. So I can't wait to go back to Camp Half-Blood and just meet all of these new characters and just be back in this world. So I really want to read this one. And then the very last book on my list is one that I've been wanting to read for a while now, and I don't know why I still haven't read it. I think that like I'm anticipating it too much and I have really high expectations and I don't want it to disappoint me, so I just keep putting it off. But that book is Witchwood by Tahira Mafi. This book is inspired by Persian folklore and fantasy, so it's kind of like Persian mythology, and I am so looking forward to reading this book, like I said. Being Persian myself, this book is really important to me, and I never get to see anything that's inspired by Persian folklore and fantasy. I don't even know that much about it myself, and that makes me really sad, and I want to know more. I've read like kind of different articles and like textbook type of things about them, but I want to read about it in an actual book, like in a story in a fantasy setting. All I really know about this book is that it follows this girl who washes dead bodies. That's all I know. That's all I really want to know. I don't need to know anything else because that just sounds awesome. Tahira Mafi, of course, herself is also Persian, so it's very much inspired by her own culture and the stories she heard growing up. So like I said, I can't wait to pick this one up, and I'm really hoping it meets my expectations. Alright, so there you all have it. That is my list of some of my favorite books with mythology and some of the books that I really want to read. Honestly, I need more books with mythology in my life. I feel like I haven't read that many, and I haven't loved too many of the ones that I have read. That's why this list is actually kind of smaller. So if you guys have any recommendations of books that feature mythology that you really love, please leave them in the comments down below because I'd love to check some more out. But like I said earlier, we still have to get to the giveaway in this video. So like I mentioned with Aru Shah and the End of Time, our main character Aru has this tendency to stretch the truth and tell lies. So today we're going to be playing a game called Two Truths and a Lie. Many of you have probably played it before. I know I did in middle school. But if you've never heard of it, the way that it works is basically I'm going to tell you 3 facts about myself. 2 of them are going to be true and 1 of them is going to be a lie, and it's your job to guess which one is the lie. Once you've made your guess, you can leave your guess in the comments down below, and that is how you enter the giveaway. You just have to guess which one I am lying about. That's basically it. Very simple. Although I will tell you, I am very good at lying, like very good at it, so it might be kind of hard. Make sure to comment before April 4th because that is the deadline of the giveaway. That's when I'm going to be choosing the winner. I'm going to pick a random commenter, and they're going to win a copy of Aru Shah and the End of Time, as well as a sleep mask that goes along with the book. All of the other details and information for the giveaway will be linked in the description box, so please go and make sure you check all of that before you enter just to see if you're eligible. So those are all of the details for the giveaway, so without any further ado, let's get into my 2 truths and a lie. Fact number 1, I have learned to play 4 different instruments in my life. Fact number 2, I once wrote a song about Jacob Black to the tune of Kesha's song Animal. And fact number 3, I am terrified of boats. Alright, so there you all have it. Those are my 2 truths and a lie. I hope you can guess which one is the lie. I know that they're all not that interesting, but I feel like I can't think of many interesting facts about myself myself. Also, if you want to know which one of them actually happens to be the lie, make sure to follow me on my Instagram because I'm going to be posting about it once the giveaway ends on there so you guys can find out which one is actually not true. But yeah, let me know if you also enjoyed any of these books that I mentioned in this video. Let me know if I should get to the Heroes of Olympus series or Witchwood first because I really can't decide. All of my information will of course be linked in the description box as always, as well as all the information for everything else that I mentioned in this video, all of the giveaway details, the stuff for Aru Shah, as well as the links to all the other books that I mentioned. But thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!